Hello, Sinan. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, have you watched the recorded video of the last chapter?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So, have you watched the recorded video of the last chapter?
No, ma'am, I
No,
didn't.
ma'am, I didn't. Why?
Ma'am, I was
Ma'am,
having
I
a
was having a. Okay,
like.
okay. Like, finish it fast, okay?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
today we will be starting with a new chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So, your chapter is chapter 3, coordinate geometry. So, in this chapter, we'll be introducing some of the basic concepts of coordinate geometry. You already know it because we have done the similar thing in your linear equations in two variables chapter. So, we'll be dealing with some of the basic concepts regarding the coordinate geometry. Suppose take an example. Say this is your study table. Now, here you have your table lamp. So someone is asking you, you need to describe the position of the table. This is your table lamp. You need to describe the position of the lamp. How will you do that? Without knowing the measurement, you can't say the position of the lamp. So you will consider this line as your y-axis, this line as your x-axis. So when you extend this point, you'll get some value for this, some measurement. And when you extend this one, you'll get another value here. So if say this is 15 centimeter, this is 10 centimeter. So you can say this table lamp is 15 centimeter away from the x-axis and 10 centimeter away from the y-axis. So you can write the point as 15, 10. Like that you can describe the position of something. So come to the Cartesian system. So in this you'll be studying the Cartesian system. Okay, so you have studied in your earlier classes about the number system. So you have studied number system and plotting a particular point on the number line like this. If you have x is equal to 4, if you need to plot this one, you will draw a number line like this 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 4. Then you will plot like this. This is x is equal to 4. But here you will be studying Cartesian system, that is with Cartesian plane. You already know what is a Cartesian plane. This is your Cartesian plane. This vertical line represents y-axis and this horizontal line represents your x-axis.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So what you can see in the middle, this middle point is what? 0, 0. So this middle point will call as origin. So from the origin towards the right side, you can see what? Positive x-axis. So towards the right, left, you can see negative x-axis. So upside is what? Your positive y-axis. Here you will be writing every positive values. So this is your positive y-axis and towards down, this is your negative y-axis. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now we'll see about the quadrants. What are the quadrants? So this is a Cartesian plane and you have four quadrants. This is your first quadrant, second one, third and fourth. Don't forget the order. First, second, third, fourth. Now we'll see the sign of each quadrant. So the first quadrant will be having positive sign. How? See, first of all, this one represents what? X-axis. Here you can see the x-axis is positive. So I have written positive. Then look at the y-axis. Y-axis here is also what? Positive. So the sign of first quadrant is positive. Come to the second quadrant. What is the sign here? First, you need to take the x-axis. See, x-axis is what? Here it is negative. So first will be negative and y-axis. See the y-axis. Y-axis is positive because towards upside it is positive. So the sign is negative, positive in the second quadrant. Come to the third quadrant. Take the x-axis first. X-axis is the same. That is negative. Negative. And take the y-axis. So y-axis is also negative. So negative is the sign of third quadrant. Now the last quadrant, fourth quadrant. Take the x-axis first. X is positive. Now y. Y is what? Negative. So this is the signs of each quadrant. First quadrant is having positive sign. Second quadrant, negative, positive. Third quadrant, negative. And your fourth quadrant will be having positive, negative.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now, now we'll study what is x coordinate and y coordinate. So x coordinate is the perpendicular distance from the y axis measured along the x axis. See, this is your Cartesian plane. So x coordinate means it is the perpendicular. See, suppose this is a point. So you'll mark like this towards the x axis and y axis. So x coordinate is a perpendicular distance from the y axis. See, in this, what is the x value? Is this x value? This is not x value. See, this is what? Y value. X value is this line. This line represents x value. So this is your y axis, this is your x axis. Therefore, x coordinate is the perpendicular line. See, this is a perpendicular distance from y axis measured along the x axis. We are measuring along the x axis and it is the perpendicular distance from the y axis. That is what you call as x coordinate. Same way y coordinate. What is y coordinate? You can describe this line as the perpendicular distance from the x axis measured along the y axis. So you can write x coordinate of a point is the perpendicular distance from y-axis because it's the x coordinate. So it will be the perpendicular distance from the y-axis measured along the x-axis. Same way write for y coordinate. Change this as y. Y coordinate of a point is the perpendicular distance from the x-axis measured along the y-axis.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, now you know the coordinates of a point. See, suppose this is the coordinate of a point 4, 3. So this you know already. 4 represents the x coordinate and 3 represents the y coordinate. Every time always we will write x coordinate first and y coordinate second. So this is the order of writing a point, coordinates of a point. So x coordinate is also known as what? Abscissa. So x coordinate is also known as abscissa. Y coordinate is also known as ordinate. Abscissa and ordinate. So instead of x coordinate and y coordinate, in the question they will be asking find abscissa and ordinate.
Ma'am.
Okay, now you come to page number 57, example number 1. Okay, in example number 1, so in the next page you can see one figure like this, figure 3.11. So you need to see the figure and answer the following. First sub question is the abscissa and ordinate of the point B. Okay, this is the point B. You need to find the abscissa and ordinate. What is abscissa? Your x coordinate. And ordinate means your y coordinate. So what is the abscissa here? Tell me, Sinan, what is the abscissa? X coordinate. That means this distance.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
2, 4.
2, 4. Yes, it is 4. So the abscissa is 4. What is the ordinate?
Only.
Ordinate. This distance.
Yes,
Y
ma'am.
distance. Yes, ma'am. See, abscissa means the x value. That means where it is touching on the x-axis 4. Ordinate means the y value. Where it is touching on the y-axis at 3. So this is your ordinate. 4 and 3. So
Yes.
3 is the ordinate, 4 is the abscissa. Read the second sub-question. The x-coordinate. Okay, you need to find coordinates of B. Okay, 4 and 3. We found that. Now, second one, the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the point M. Okay, you need to find the x coordinate, y coordinate of M. See this M. Tell me.
Ma'am, X
Ma'am, x
minus 3.
minus 3. Okay, x minus 3. Y coordinate?
Y
Y
coordinate.
coordinate.
Y
Y
coordinate
coordinate
is 4, ma'am.
is 4. 4. Okay, so the point is minus 3, 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now the third one. The x coordinate and y coordinate of the point L. So the point L is here. Tell me.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
coordinate is
coordinate is minus 5 and
is minus 4.
minus 4. Yes. So abscissa is minus 5. Ordinate is minus 4. Fourth one.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
is 3.
is 3.
Y.
Y. Yes, 3 and minus 4. So you know how to do this one. Now come to the example number 2. Write the coordinates of the points marked on the axis in figure 3.12.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to tell the coordinates of the point. First, tell A. Tell me.
Ma'am, A.
Ma'am, A. Yes, A is coordinate.
4, ma'am. 4.
What? Four. A is on the x-axis. So this is like this.
Yes, ma'am. It's 4, ma'am.
A is on the yes, ma'am. It's four, ma'am. Yes, four. Not really four. 40. Tell me like this.
4, not 0, yes, ma'am.
Four, not zeros, ma'am. Okay. Then B.
B is
B is on the y-axis. B is
0 and 3.
0 and 3. 0 and 3. C.
C
-5 and 0. D.
0 and -4.
0 and -4. Now E.
E is
Is x-axis it is 2/3.
ma'am
2 by Ma'am. 3
0.
0. Yeah, 2/3 and 0. Okay. Okay, now I'll ask you something. Tell me what is the sign of the first quadrant? Sign of first quadrant.
Sign.
Sign. Yeah, I've told you, no?
Yes,
Four
ma'am.
quadrants. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Plus
Tell
and
me what is
plus.
what? Your voice is breaking.
Ma'am, plus.
Ma'am, plus. Yeah, plus plus.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now yes, the third one.
Third,
Third.
minus.
Minus. Yeah, minus minus. Second.
And minus,
And
ma'am.
minus, ma'am. Minus and plus. Okay, don't change the order. So the last one, fourth.
Plus.
Plus. Yeah, plus and minus. Keep it in your mind. This is important. Now you can come to exercise 3.2. 3.1 is not important, so come to 3.2. First question. Write the answers of each of the following questions. What is the name of horizontal and vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? Tell me what is the name of that horizontal and vertical line?
God.
God. Yeah.
Is it
Is
coordinate?
it coordinate? X-axis and y-axis. I've told you. This horizontal line you'll call as x-axis, vertical line y-axis. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so you can write the answer. The horizontal line is x-axis and vertical line is the y-axis.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now the second one. What is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? See,
First,
name of each part of the plane. What is the name of each part of the plane?
one
One
coordinate.
coordinate.
Coordinate 3.
Coordinate 3.
Coordinate.
Not the coordinate, it's the quadrant. I told you it is having four parts. First quadrant, second quadrant.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yes, the name of each part of the plane. This is the each part of the plane formed by these two lines. So answer is quadrants.
Yes.
Yes. Third one. Write the name of the point where these lines intersect. Where is these two lines intersect?
Orbit.
Orbit. Here, what will you call this one?
Orbit.
Orbit. You can tell origin.
Yes.
Yes. Now the second question. You need to see the figure 3.14 given in the next page and answer the following. The coordinates of B. What is the coordinates of B? See the figure in three next
Yes.
page, page 61.
Minus
Minus
and
yeah, minus 5 and 2.
2.
Okay. Coordinates of C?
See.
C.
Yes. 5
Yes, 5
and minus
and
5.
minus 5. Okay. Then the point identified by the coordinates minus 3 and minus 5. Which is that point? Take x-axis minus 3,
H map.
y-axis minus 5. Which is that point?
And,
Can't hear you. What?
is it
Is it
M
M? Not M.
E?
E. Yeah, it's E. Join that points. It is intersecting on E. So the point is E.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Fourth one, the point identified by the coordinates 2 and minus 4. Take 2 in the x-axis minus 4 in the y-axis and see which point it is.
G, ma'am.
G, ma'am. Okay. Now the abscissa of the point D. Tell only the abscissa. X coordinate.
Yes. Uh, D.
D, D, D.
6,
6. What?
6.
6. Yeah, 6. So tell the ordinate of the point H. Ordinate, y-axis.
Minus 3.
Minus 3. Minus 3. The coordinate. Now tell the coordinates of the point L.
And 0,
Z. What?
0 and
0 and 0 and 5. Okay. Now tell the coordinates of the point M.
3 and 0.
3 and 0. Minus 3 and 0. Okay. Good. Now we'll see how to plot a point in the plane if its coordinates are given. You have already studied this. You have already done this in your linear equations in two variables chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Anyways, we'll do. Example 3 of page number 62.
Yes.
You need to locate those points. 5, 0. Only locate 3 or 4 points. 0, 5, 0, 0, 5, 2, 5, minus 3, 5. Locate this point. Five zero. 5 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. So this is your point 5 0. Now 0 5. 0 on the x-axis, 5 on the y-axis. 4 5.
Yes.
So this is your 0 5. Now 2 and 5. 2 on the x-axis, 5 on the y-axis. Somewhat here. 2 5. 5 2 is reverse. 5 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis. Somewhat here 5 2. Same way you can do everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, example number 4. Plot the following ordered pairs x and y of numbers as points in the Cartesian plane. Use the scale 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit means you need to take 1 units like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In some cases we have taken 5, 10, 15. Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So here scale 1 centimeter we have taken 5 units. In this question they have given you need to take scale 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. So you can take 1, 2, 3, 4 as usual.
Yes.
Now you can plot those things. That is also easy. Great. Okay, come to exercise 3.3.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, yeah.
no,
No.
after
After what?
like this
Like this. No, your voice is breaking. I can't hear you.
after this
After this.
the-
After this?
after this
After this
exercise
exercise.
over,
I didn't hear you. After this exercise?
lesson is
Lesson
over.
is over. Yeah, yeah, it's over. Okay, come to question number 1. In which quadrant or on which axis do each of the points 1, -2, 4, 3, -1, -1, 0, 1, 2, and -3, -5 lie? Verify your answer by locating them on the Cartesian plane. So, first of all, we need to plot those points. So, draw a Cartesian plane, y-axis, x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. Now, the first point is -2 and 4. So, -2 on the x-axis, 4 on the y-axis. So, this point lies on which quadrant? You need to find which
Third
quadrant.
quarter, fourth quarter.
Fourth quadrant. Fourth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. No, this is your first quadrant, second quadrant,
Oh,
third, fourth.
yes,
That's
ma'am.
why I told you don't forget the order.
Yes,
You will
ma'am.
go left. Yeah. Okay. So it is on the second quadrant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now the second point, 3 and -1. So 3 on x-axis, -1 on y-axis. This is on which quadrant?
Fourth.
Fourth. So you need to write there. This is on the fourth quadrant. Same way you can do other points. -1, 0. So -1 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. So this is the -1 and 0. Tell me which quadrant?
Minus
Minus
one.
1. Yeah.
Uh, ma'am, this
Ma'am, this
third one.
third one.
Third quadrant.
Third quadrant.
Yes. Third quadrant.
Third quadrant. No, because this lies on the line. See, this is lying on the line, not in this quadrant, not in this quadrant. So how can you say this is on the third quadrant?
Not according
Not
to.
according to. So you can write -1, 0 lies on the negative x-axis. This is your negative x-axis, this side, left side of the origin. So you can write -1, 0 lies on the negative x-axis. This
Yes.
is not coming on any of the quadrants. So you can write like that. Come to the next point. Next is 1 and 2. 1 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis. This is your point, 1 and 2. This lies on the first quadrant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now -3 and -5. So -3 on the x-axis and -5 on the y-axis. Now this lies on the third quadrant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's all. Now the second question. Plot the points x, y given in the following table on the plane, choosing suitable units of distance on the axis. This you can do. You need to plot this one. X-axis, x value is given, y value is also given. So you can plot it. Same way, do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus, minus 1, 2, 3. So the first point is minus 2, 8. X coordinate is minus 2, y coordinate is 8. So minus 2 on the x coordinate, y is 8. Okay. Suppose here 8 is there. I don't have any place. So second is minus 1, 7. So minus 1 is here. Suppose 7 is here. So minus 1, 7. 0 minus 1.25. That means y coordinate minus 1.25. So 1.25 lies between minus 1 and minus 2. So it will be somewhat here. This is your 0 minus 1.25 between minus 1 and minus 2. 1, 3. 1 on the x-axis, 3 on the y-axis. 1, 3. 3 minus 1. 3 on the x-axis minus 1 on the y-axis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Done? Sinan, wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now your summary part of this chapter. Okay, in this chapter, you have studied the following points. First one, to locate the position of an object or a point in a plane, we require two perpendicular lines. One of them is horizontal, another one is vertical. I have already told you.
Yes, ma'am.
Vertical line is there, horizontal line is there. So vertical line is called y-axis, horizontal line is x-axis. Come to the second point. The plane is called the Cartesian, or you can say the coordinate plane, and the lines are called as coordinate axis. So plane, Cartesian plane, another name for Cartesian plane is coordinate plane, and those lines you can call as coordinate axis. Third one, the horizontal line is called the x-axis and the vertical line is y-axis, that we know. Fourth, the coordinate axis divide the plane into four parts. That is what your quadrants, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. The point of intersection of the axis is called origin. I have told you the point of intersection between x-axis and y-axis is called origin. Sixth one, the distance of a point from the y-axis is called x-coordinate, or it is also known as abscissa, and the distance of the point from the x-axis is called y-coordinate. So y-coordinate is also known as coordinate. Seventh one, if the abscissa of the point is x and coordinate is y, it will be represented in this form. X we will write first and then y. So are called the coordinates of a point. X eighth one. The coordinates of the point on the x-axis are of the form x0 because there is something on the y-axis. So I'll write x0. This is the form. So, and that of the point on the y-axis is what? 0, y. On the y-axis, you won't have any point for x. So x term has 0 and y. So these are the two forms. Now, ninth one. The coordinates of the origin that we know, the origin is having a coordinate 0, 0. Because there is nothing x-axis, y-axis, nothing is there. So the coordinates of the origin is 0, 0. Tenth one. The coordinates of a point are of the form plus plus. See, plus plus form is of first quadrant. First quadrant sign is plus plus. Second quadrant is minus plus. Third quadrant is minus minus. I've already told you. And the last,
Yes.
fourth quadrant is plus minus. You need to be careful about the signs of each quadrant.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So
Yes.
the plus denotes the positive real number and negative denotes a negative real number. That we know. Now, at last, see this one is an important point. If x is not equal to y, xy not equal to y, yes, xy equal to yx if x is not equal to y, equal to y. See, if x is equal to y, suppose if x is equal to y, you
Yes.
can write the coordinates xy is equal to yx.
Yes.
Reverse. So if suppose x is not equal to y, in this case, you cannot write it like this, equal to. So you need to write xy not equal to yx. This is two conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think we are done with the chapter. This is a small chapter. Only we have covered the basics of coordinate geometry that we know
Yes, ma'am.
already. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's an easy chapter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So you need to what you need to do is first of
What?
all you need to finish those recorded video of the last chapter,
Yes,
linear
ma'am.
equations in two variables, and submit those assignments. Two assignments I have given you, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow I'll be conducting an exam.
This
Okay,
le-
regarding that linear equations in two variables chapter,
Yes, ma'am.
and also one quizzes will be conducted.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, again assignment of this chapter, coordinate geometry plus the test. That's all.
Can I submit that?
What?
Can I submit it by tomorrow? Assign.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. By tomorrow you can submit.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe
Sir,
today or tomorrow I'll be giving a quiz like the Google Forms. Last one I've given you, no?
yes, ma'am.
Quiz you can do easily.
I upload.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
that's all for today. You can leave the meeting.